Primary 4 English Literature, second midterm, The Gift at the Bottom of the Well. This session contains learning objectives, what a traditional tale is, the characters of the story, the explanation of the story, the moral of the story, and also some questions. First, we will move to the learning objectives. By the end of this chapter, the students will be able to define what a traditional tale is, identify the main features of a traditional tale, identify the characteristics of the story, understand the content of the story, and also understand the moral message of the story. Before moving to the lesson, you all should know what a traditional tale is. Actually, what is a traditional tale? A traditional tale is a story that has been told and retold for many years. I know for sure your grandmothers and some of your grandparents might have told you some traditional tales. You all know what traditional tales are, right? That means if a story is there which has been told and told for many years, we call them traditional tales. This story, The Gift at the Bottom of the Well, is also a traditional story which is written in Italy. I know for sure that you all have read the lesson more than once because it's a very interesting story. What were the characters that you found in the story? There were 4 major characters, right? They were mother, good daughter, bad daughter, and the fairy. Okay, now I am going to explain this interesting story to you all, right? This story is basically about 2 sisters. What sort of sisters? 2 different sisters, right? Once upon a time, there were 2 sisters. One sister was very good. She was very kind-hearted, helpful, and she was very good. But what about the other sister? She was very naughty. She was bad, right? One day, the mother of these 2 sisters asked them to go to the well to fetch some water. Suddenly, the bad sister refused it, telling that she cannot go, so that the good sister had to go to fetch water from the well. She took a bucket, fixed it to the rope, and let it down the well. But unfortunately, what happened? The rope which was there in good sister's hand snapped, and as a result of that, the bucket which was there fell into the bottom of the well. The good sister was very much frightened because she thought that her mother would be angry because she has lost her bucket. What did she do? She climbed into the well to find it. Do you know what happened when she reached the bottom of the well? She was really surprised. Why was she surprised? That was because there was no water in the well. Normally in a well we can find water. But in this well there was no water. Instead of that, she saw a long dark passage, and there were some doors also. What did she do? She knocked at the first 2 doors. But did someone answer? No, no one answered. When she knocked at the 3rd door, somebody answered. Who answered? Yes, it was a smiling fairy. The fairy told the good sister that she had found the good sister's bucket. But if the good sister wants the bucket back, she had to do something that is told by the fairy to do. We'll see what it is. The smiling fairy gave 2 tasks to this good sister. One was to sweep the fairy's floor, and the other one was providing dinner to the fairy's baby. If she does these 2 tasks, then she will be able to get back her bucket, and also she will be able to go home. Now the good sister agreed and entered the fairy's house to complete these 2 tasks. While she was sweeping the floor, she found so many sparkling jewels on her floor. They were very valuable. Did she steal them? No, she picked them carefully and she gave them back to the fairy. After that, the good sister started to prepare dinner for the fairy's baby. She prepared a very delicious dinner. Even though it smelled delicious, she did not taste even a bit of it. The fairy was very happy because of good sister's work. Then the fairy gave the bucket back to the good sister, and also she asked the sister to look at the sky when she came out of the well. As fairy told, the sister climbed up the well, and later she looked up at the sky. At once what happened? A shining star fell onto her face, and it gave her the most beautiful smile in the world. She was gifted with the most beautiful smile in the world. When the good sister went back home, the bad sister saw that she had a beautiful smiling face. She felt jealous. So what did she do? She cried a lot and asked from the good sister how she got that beautiful smiling face. Then the good sister explained everything what happened. She told about the well and the fairy at the bottom of the well and everything. Then after, what did the bad sister do? She ran to the well and threw the bucket to the bottom of the well. Then she also reached the bottom of the well as the good sister did. She found the dark passage and she saw the doors as well. What did she do? She knocked at all the 3 doors. Like earlier, the 3rd door was answered by the smiling fairy. Like earlier, the fairy promised to give the bucket back to the bad sister if the sister could do some jobs for the fairy. That means same as the good sister, the bad sister also had to complete some duties. They were sweeping the floor and also feeding the baby. What did she do? She went into the fairy's house and started sweeping the floor. She also found some precious jewels among the dust in the floor. But unlike the good sister, what did she do? She filled her pockets with the jewels when the fairy was not looking at her. Her second task was to feed the fairy's baby. What did she do there? She ate most of the baby's dinner. So the baby started to cry in hunger. The fairy was not happy at all. But she gave the bucket back to the bad sister. And also the fairy asked the bad sister to look up at the sky when she came out of the well. Now the bad sister was very happy. As the fairy told, she climbed out of the well and looked at the sky. She also wanted to get a beautiful smiling face like the good sister. But what happened? A horrid lump of dirt fell on her face and gave her an angry scowl. That means, was her face beautiful? No, her face became ugly, dirty and cross. From that day onwards, the bad sister's face was filled with a horrible scowl. She was very angry, crossed and always very ugly. What about the good sister? Good sister's face was always shining with a beautiful smile. Okay, now what did you all learn from this story? What do you all feel about this story? What is the moral of the story? That is, if you do good, the good will come back to you. That means if you sow good things, you will reap the maximum benefits. And also, if you do bad, the bad will come back to you, right? So always you have to do good and get good results in your life according to the good things that you all commit. That is the lesson of the story. Since we have discussed the story now, here I have given you some simple questions where you have to write short answers. You have to try these questions, okay? Try writing answers to these questions and check whether for how many questions you can answer without looking at your book. I hope you all enjoyed this session and I hope to meet you again with another session. Until then, stay safe and have a nice day. Thank you very much.